Welcome back to Fired Up Garage. I got Jack out here again today helping me out on the old Bronco, and we think we have pretty much everything back together, and we're getting ready to do our initial startup.
100 years ago, my great-grandfather bought a junkyard in Indiana, and ever since then, my family has been bringing things back to life. When somebody else has given up on it, when nobody thinks it will run, I love it. It's in my family, it's in my blood. For 100 years, we've been firing them up. The Fired Up Garage Bronco. This one has been a staple of our channel for about a year now. We found this Bronco out on a farm. Actually, I'd known about it for a long time, since the early 2000s, but the guy never wanted to sell it because he bought this Bronco in 1983. But finally, after years of it sitting, he decided it was time to get rid of it, so we went out, picked it up. Luckily, this Bronco is a good foundation for a build. The frame had been coated with POR 15 or something like that at some point along the way, so the frame is in good shape. The engine had been rebuilt, had about 3,000 miles on it, but then it started having a bunch of top-end problems, breaking rocker arm studs, broken push rods down inside of the block, all kinds of stuff. So we ended up pulling the heads off, taking this thing down to a short block, and rebuilding the top end of this engine. And we also had to go through a bunch of the systems. All the wiring was completely shot. So we went through and rebuilt a bunch of the wiring. The brakes were shot as well. All the wheel cylinders were locked up, and all the brake lines were rusted through. So we ended up putting all new Nycop brake lines on it, new wheel cylinders, all that kind of stuff, repacking the bearings. We got this thing, I think, ready to fire up today. It's been a lot of work. It's been a long process, but this is going to be a really awesome truck when we're done. So let's take a moment, and like I said, if you haven't seen the history of this thing, there are a bunch of videos on our channel. You can subscribe or you can go back and watch those old ones. But let's take a moment now and see if the Fired Up Garage Bronco, if we can fire it up.
The first time it started since 1997. So I'm going to set the camera over here and let's see if it'll fire.
It'll work.
Fired up! You want me to start pumping it or not?
You know what? That's a good. Let's see. Just pump it real quick. Right, do. One more time. All right, we got fuel. Don't go crazy on it. Just let it run for a minute. What kind of car sits for 30 years and doesn't smoke? Woo! Yeah, man. Nice and quiet. That's good. And start it right up. That's good. Turn off the headers a little bit. All the usual smells.
Burning off.
This is that hot wire. We're at 14 volts, so it's charging the battery.
Awesome.
So you can use that for your choke.
I thought the two least likely things to work were the alternator and the starter, and they both work.
It's pretty remarkable.
Smells a little bit like burning mouse coming out of the exhaust.
You're cooking some rat, man. You got some varmint for dinner?
Yeah.
All right, warm it up a little bit. All I need to do is check timing and lock the distributor down.
So there you go. A lot of hard work on this one. We took this engine all the way down to a short block, built it back up with Jack's help and a bunch of his Mustang parts. Thank you, Jack, for that. And now it runs so smooth, so just got to work through a few more things, button it up, and we are going to be driving the 72 Bronco Farm Find. Thanks for watching. Keep firing it up. Smells a little bit like burning mouse coming out of the exhaust.
You're cooking some rat, man. Got some vermin for dinner?
Yeah.